A's Cast returns. Jessica Kleinschmidt here with A's starting pitcher JP Sears. JP, thanks for joining me.
Yeah,
today.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a really fun season for you, and I feel like the word that comes to mind describing what you've done this season is consistency. You know, where does that come from, and how you've been able to go out and kind of build off of your previous outings?
Yeah, I think that consistency is something that you want to do as a starting pitcher. That's probably the number one attribute that they look for in starting pitchers. So yeah, it's just about last year with I was with the Yankees some, and I was in AAA, and then I came over here and I was able to start some here, and I think that was kind of whenever I started to get comfortable with developing a routine as far as what I wanted to stick to. And then this year in spring training, once I made the team, I knew that I had opportunity to have a role and help this team out, and how you do that is by being consistent. And so that's kind of been my my week in and week out goal is just trying to remain consistent and stay with my routine and kind of do the things that I feel like are going to get me in a position to help the team win.
We talked about the consistency of it and the spring training. What were your other goals heading into spring training for this season?
Yeah, it's hard to it's obviously like always hard to reach your goals if you feel like that you don't necessarily have control over them all the time. But there's like little things that you kind of set at the beginning of the year to try and just shoot for. And number one is health. Just being available, being a starting pitcher and being available every 5 days, and making my starts. That was probably the number one goal. Something I feel like I can control as much as I can, and just trying to make 30 starts, trying to throw 150 plus innings, and just being out there every day from a team, and just them knowing that they can have somebody out there that's going to compete and give us a chance to win. So there's goals in themselves that are a little hard to set at the beginning of the year because you don't know how the year is going to go as far as your role or your usage and all that. But as far as the things you can't control, just being out there and being available and competing every day.
Isn't that interesting though when it comes to health? That's like the number one goal that y'all have, and that's gotta kind of suck when it doesn't work out to your advantage because you can't control those things.
Like I said, there's things that you can and can't control. There's ways you can go about trying to make sure you're healthy. You can stay on top of your routine. You can stay on top of your diet. Being hydrated. All these little things that are going to get you a little bit better. But then some people run into some bad luck. Like with Noda, he had a broken jaw. Like took a comeback or a ground ball at the face. That's not out of his control. Certain things like that are very tough to swallow as a baseball player. And and it's a tough game, and you have to be on your A game every time you get out there. You're playing against some of the best guys in the world, so you gotta remain healthy and competitive out there. Or, you'll find yourself in a bad spot. So health is 100% number one thing.
Was diet and all that easy for you to come by?
Diet for me it's a lot easier here at the field every day, playing, pretty much being here every day because, they provide good food for you.
What about if you didn't have us to help?
At home, it's harder at home. Okay. You have to put in a little more effort at home, maybe like going to the store, cooking, or, making those good decisions later at night and not eating that extra little bit of something. And, and we all struggle with that.
Suck at that.
It's hard. I try and try and make sure I eat good early in the day and a lot early in the day, so by the time it comes night, I can have a nice dinner and then kind of feel like I had enough of the day, rather than, you're always hungry. And when you get hungry late at night, then it's kind of hard to keep those routine, that good diet.
What's the guilty thing that you go for?
Me and Noda crush ice cream.
Okay.
We love ice cream. We lived together this year. We've been living together, and that's definitely probably the easiest thing that I go to is ice cream.
It's just easy to do.
Yeah, and you can store it in the freezer, and you can get.
Do straight out of the.
No, we just buy the pints. We buy the little
Okay.
pints and just have 2 or 3 of them in there every week. And sometimes you reward yourself after a good outing or a good game, and sometimes you eat it because you're a little upset about how the day went. And sometimes you just treat yourself with it. So. Yeah, it's a little easier here at the field than it is in the off season to keep your diet up, but that's another big part of being healthy every year.
What's the flavor of ice cream to go to?
I probably like out of the pints, the Ben and Jerry's. Yeah. I get the caramel swirl.
Oh,
I love caramel, and like the Fallon or the Fallon one, Jimmy Fallon one is really good too. The late night one, yeah. There's not a bad one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You don't discriminate, and
I don't discriminate. And there's I live in Walnut Creek, and there's a lot of good ice cream shops around. So we got some local ice cream too.
Have you been to Cream?
I have not been to Cream.
It's ice cream sandwiches.
Oh man,
And
I have to check that out.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like the freshly baked cookie. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of your last outings, I could physically see you kind of getting, and I want to use the term upset. You were in the dugout, and I asked you about it, and you said I couldn't win for the team.
Yeah.
And that was really, I thought it was cool. Tell me about the camaraderie that you guys have, and because you said earlier, you want to go out there and win for the team, and not just for yourself. Tell me.
Yeah. I mean, baseball is such a unique game in a way that it's so individually driven. As far as you have so much control of the game as a starting pitcher. Everybody's here, has their own careers, and you're here in different ways, but we're all here to try and win every day. That's the number one goal, and it doesn't always work out like that, and sometimes it does, but I think there was a Houston game that I said that after I think we were facing Framer, and obviously he's had such a great year this year, and just do a no-hitter, and I think it was right before that, and I think we scored 4 or 5 runs against him, and anytime you can get 4 or 5 runs off of Framer, that's a really good day as an offense, and I didn't really do my job that day of kind of keeping them, with less than that, and so that it's really frustrating, right? You feel like you only have a certain amount of opportunities to help your team out as a starting pitcher, and you have a lot of control of that game. So anytime the game doesn't go how you want to, you feel that weight, and not necessarily weight from the players, but just from yourself and the expectations you have of yourself, and just wanting to be a good competitor and win.
Have you always been kind of selfless in that way?
I think that you can kind of chalk it up to being selfless. I think it's more so just competitive.
Right.
I think I don't really necessarily look at it as I'm not here for me, I'm here for my team. It's more so me personally, I want to be a competitor, and I want to beat the person in front of me, and I want everybody around me to have that same attitude. And it's just kind of how I grew up. I was able to play a lot of different sports, and fortunate enough to be on a lot of really good teams in high school, whether it was football or baseball. And I think that's just kind of something that you kind of develop over time, is just wanting to beat the guy in front of you, and that's the reason why you're that's how you're here as in the major leagues, is being a competitor and being out there every day, and wanting to help your team win.
Before I let you go, I can sense that competitive nature in you, and there's a militant aspect to it, and discipline. You of course attended the Citadel.
Yeah.
Did that help in your competition and your?
Yeah. I think it challenged me in different ways, and maybe not necessarily as an athlete, but it challenged me as a human, as a person of being productive every day, and having a really good routine, and having my stuff together, and a lot's on your plate there at a military school. You have to put up with the daily routine that they expect of you as a cadet. You have to maintain a good GPA, and then you're playing Division I baseball. So I think that that definitely played a big role in it. And like I said, I came from high school where I feel like I played a lot of sports, won a lot, and learn to be a competitor. And then college, you're kind of challenged in a different way, because you're not always winning, or you're not always on a good team. So just developing that good routine, and that's definitely what the Citadel taught me, and that's definitely what I took from there, and I'm very grateful to have gone there. And it's a very unique place, and if anybody hasn't checked it out, they should definitely check it out.
I did a little bit of research, and it was cool. They said whether it was military based or not, they want you to hold on to some of those skills for your life and beyond.
And there's a certain yes, for sure. I don't really know what the number is, but about 50% of people are actually going into the U.S. military. Other than that, it's just guys that their family went there, they're alumni, or they're going there to play sports like I was, or a little combination of it all. And it's definitely a unique place. One of one. Got some of the best people in the world that go there. Some of the weirdest people. Some are
my kind of people.
Our kind of people.
Yeah.
And I had some of my best friends growing up there and from there. And I definitely I live there still, and I live right down the road from there. So definitely won't be leaving anytime soon.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.